Good morning. You know I'm going to talk about the election. But also an important announcement from BP. And we're watching the shit hit the fan for the US in real time. Let me start with this from BP. BP slashes buybacks as cash flow tumbles. Nothing says shitty economy like oil companies having a problem with cash flow. Well, problem might be a bit of an exaggeration, but reduced. And as a result, oil prices are falling. Because if oil companies are not making money, it's a bad sign. All right, we may be watching shit hit the fan for the US in real time. I'm going to show you some ports. I'm going to show you Los Angeles, Shanghai, and Singapore. First, Los Angeles, the busiest container port in North America. Not very busy. I'll put this in context by showing you Shanghai and Singapore. By the way, if you want to check, this is vesselfinder.com. That's Singapore. And that's Shanghai. Let me zoom out. That's Shanghai. Big retailers have warned the government that there's going to be empty shelves very soon. Like, if something's happening globally, you can kind of understand a bit, right? Like, if shelves were empty all over the world, you'd say, okay, we have a global problem. But this isn't a global problem. This is a US problem. They ain't going to have to deport people very soon. People are going to flee. How long do you think it's going to be before this devolves into one of those post-apocalyptic movies? Because the apocalypse is happening now. All right, it's time to talk about the election. I want to start off by saying I was wrong. I said there would be a liberal majority. I was wrong by 4 seats. Damn it. I so wanted to do and I told you so today. I blame Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. Come on, you know it's true. People are being nice, saying there are other factors, but we all saw the speeches. We were all like, dude, what are you saying? Like, read the room. Canada was unifying. And let's face it, there was no chance that the NDP would become a minority government, or much less a majority government. Jagmeet Singh was not going to be the PM. So rather than getting on board with the unity bandwagon and saying that they would do everything in their power to work with a new government to do what's best for Canada, he started attacking Mark Carney and not attacking Pierre Poilievre. So he alienated people either towards Liberals or towards the Conservatives. Because let's face it, a lot of the Conservative voters are blue-collar people. And many of them would normally vote NDP. Unsurprisingly, Jagmeet Singh has lost his seat. He's stepping down as leader of the NDP, and the NDP have lost official party status. Excellent job. There are accusations that Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives mismanaged their campaign. And yeah, it's not good, but speaking of Pierre Poilievre, he's also lost his seat, but he hasn't stepped down as party leader yet. However, given how upset many voters were when Mark Carney was elected leader of the Liberal Party, but he was not elected by the people because he was not an MP, yeah, there's going to be a leadership review. He won't be leader for long. Let's face it, the Conservative Party does not want a leader who's outside of Parliament. They want somebody sitting in a seat, arguing with Mark Carney. Now, I don't know who would want that job, but somebody's going to take that job. How long will Pierre Poilievre stay leader? I don't know, a few weeks maybe. Maybe. So what happens next? Well, you've heard Mark Carney's speeches, right? He speaks a lot about Canada rising up, seizing the opportunity. Shit's going to go sideways in the US real fast. And you got to strike when the iron's hot. So this is an olive branch to the 51st Staters and the separatists out there. Maybe reconsider. There is a golden opportunity here in Canada. It would be a real shame if you didn't take part.